Puigdemont should be extradited to Spain. This, according to a German prosecutor. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. The fate of the deposed president of Catalonia depends on a regional court in northern Germany. While the prosecutor believes that Puigdemont should be extradited for the crimes of high treason and misuse of public funds, it's the judge who will have the last say. This decision could still take months, and the prosecutor wants the pro-independence leader to remain behind bars the whole time. Meanwhile, in Catalonia, the Parliament Bureau has accepted Puigdemont's request to vote by proxy. Now that he is detained, pro-independence parties say that he should be able to vote, just like other Catalan leaders in jail. Whether this will be possible, we will soon know. And stay tuned, because we'll also bring you the best images from Easter holidays. Let's begin. Will Germany accept the European arrest warrant against Carles Puigdemont? According to a prosecutor in Schleswig-Holstein, the answer should be yes. The prosecutor decided to go ahead with the extradition process after closely looking into the case, put forward by the Spanish Supreme Court. Although the crime of rebellion for which he is being prosecuted does not exist in Germany, the prosecutor found enough similarities with that of high treason.
Today we came a step closer to knowing whether or not Germany will extradite Carles Puigdemont. The prosecutor in Schleswig-Holstein believes that the process of the deposed Catalan president's European arrest warrant should go ahead. All eyes are now on the High Court, which will have the final say. The political consequences of this decision will be huge, and the Spanish president made a point of stressing the independence of the judiciary.
Somos países todos respetuosos con el imperio de la ley, con el Estado de Derecho y con la separación de poderes.
The prosecutor has requested Puigdemont's extradition for misuse of public funds and high treason, the German equivalent for the crime of rebellion. In a press release, the attorney stated that the Spanish judiciary blames the Catalan leader for going ahead with the independence referendums last October despite the risk of violence. While the prosecutor wants this process to go ahead, always quoting the Spanish European arrest warrant, it is now for the High Court in Schleswig-Holstein land to decide whether it accepts it for consideration and whether Carles Puigdemont has to continue held in custody. Following his detention, Puigdemont asked to be able to vote by proxy in Parliament. The Chamber Bureau today accepted the petition. Although he was elected as an MP last December, Spanish courts have blocked all his attempts to effectively participate in the chamber from abroad. Pro-independence parties say that he should now be allowed to vote, like other pro-independence leaders jailed in Madrid. But neither unionist parties nor parliament lawyers agree and warn of the legal consequences of contravening the Spanish judiciary.
L'auta del Tribunal Constitucional diu els membres de la cambra sobre els que pesi un ordre judicial de cerca i captura i ingrés a presó no podran delegar el vot en els altres parlamentaris. Això és el que diu literalment aquesta mesura cautelar.
Nosaltres ho celebrem en el sentit que pot suposar, ja veurem, el garantir drets polítics, en aquest cas concret pel Carles Puigdemont.
The clash of legitimacies could come as soon as Thursday, when the Parliament will hold a plenary session.
Puigdemont is not the only Catalan leader accused of rebellion. So are his ministers, the former parliament speaker, two grassroots activists, and pro-independence party leaders. Soon, this list could also include members of the Committees in Defense of the Republic. A network of local grassroots groups, the CDRs as they're known in Catalan, have been responsible for protests blocking highways and obstructing toll booths in the past week. According to them, these are legitimate, non-violent acts of protest to demand the release of Puigdemont and other pro-independence politicians. But the prosecutor at Spain's National Court says that these are indeed acts of vandalism which put in danger public peace and the very essence of the democratic system. It's been more than 6 months since the independence referendum last October, and yet judicial cases relating to the vote are still unfolding. 4 politicians in the seaside town of Pineda de Mar, as well as the local police chief, are under investigation for the crime of incitement to hatred. A local court is looking into whether they forced hotel owners to remove Spanish police officers who had been dispatched to the area to prevent the referendum. Also, in relation to the referendum vote, a high-ranking official of the Catalan government was dismissed today for hiding ballot boxes in the run-up to October 1st. Nobel was the director of the Institute of Public Security of Catalonia. The decision was taken by Madrid in control of the Catalan administration since last October. Madrid's direct rule on Catalonia also has some downsides for the Spanish government. Last week, the Basque Nationalist Party warned that they would not support the budget plan for 2018 as long as the takeover continued. Today, the central government presented the budget bill. This despite not knowing whether it will have enough support to pass it in Parliament. The proposed bill foresees spending in Catalonia at 1.34 billion, a 17% rise compared with last year. Catalonia will receive 13% of the funds, second only to Andalusia. Still, the spending plans do not match Catalonia's contribution to the state GDP, which stands at almost 19%. This past week, millions of Catalans enjoyed the Easter holiday. We bring you some of the best footage from these days, the most colorful traditions, as well as some figures to understand why these past holidays have been particularly fruitful.
Easter cakes, traditions, relaxation and good weather. The Easter holidays came to an end, leaving behind positive figures for the Catalan economy. This year, the mountains beat the coast as the top Easter destination. An early Easter and late snow were a boon for the ski resorts and accommodation in the Catalan mountains. In the Western Pyrenees, almost 100% of available rooms were booked up, with around 5,000 more visitors than last year. Results were not quite so good close to the sea. Reservations on the popular Costa Brava did not get above 70%, although some coastal destinations nearer to Barcelona did see occupancy rates of 95%. Inland rural guest houses were also a hit this Easter, as many people looked to escape the daily grind and get in touch with nature, leading many of Catalonia's rural guest houses to hang up the fully booked sign. Yet the Easter holidays were more than just about figures. It is also a time for Catalan towns to celebrate their own traditions, which in some cases can be a bit peculiar. The northern town of Verges, for example, has always held the Dance of Death, a representation of the life and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. In other traditional festivities in northern Catalonia, some people dressed as Roman soldiers in religious processions, while others planted a tree as a symbol of freedom. But if there is one thing that characterises Easter in Catalonia, it is the Mona de Pascua. This Easter cake, usually topped with chocolate figures, is an enduring tradition that appears to be as strong as ever. Sales of the cakes increased this year, and pastry chefs were taken aback by the final sales figures in the hundreds of thousands. Traditionally eaten on Easter Monday, the Mona, as usual, marked the end of the Easter holidays.
And with Easter come good news regards unemployment in Catalonia. The number of those without a job has gone down for the month of March. The Ministry of Employment and Social Security attributes this decrease to temporary jobs created in the service sector for the Easter holiday break. The latest numbers indicate that there are over 6.5 fewer people without work in Catalonia. The total of those without a job is now at a total of around 411,500. This equals to 1.6% fewer people than in February. This decrease is also higher than in Spain as a whole, which is at 1.3%. Unemployment figures have fallen steadily since July 2013 in Catalonia, and these numbers show the third highest drop in unemployment in Catalonia since the recession began. Let's move back to culture now, because a Nobel laureate in literature just presented his new book in Barcelona. Turkish writer Orhan Pamuk was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2006. Now he has a new book out, which he presented today in Barcelona. It's called The Red-Haired Woman and revolves around the relationship between a father and son. It starts in Istanbul, the writer's hometown, in the 1980s, with a parallel narration between then and the present day. While the plot pays homage to tragedies like the Sophoclean Oedipus Rex, Pamuk also explained that he sought to draw a metaphor for readers in Turkey between fathers and authoritarian regimes.
In the end, it made people think about why are they still voting for fathers who are crushing their sons? My motivation was something like this.
That's all for our show today, but we want to show you some more unusual footage from this Easter celebration. In the town of Súria in central Catalonia, the fact that April 1st marks 6 months since the October 1st referendum did not go unnoticed. And this is why, for their traditional celebration on Easter Sunday, going back to the 16th century, the close to 900 singers and dancers that performed made reference to the situation. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.